Well, let's get ready to put in the camshaft. So I'm just going to oil up the bearing journals. Boop, boop. There's just the 4 spots. I got some oil already. I spilled a little on this first, and we're fairly straight up and down, so any dripping hopefully goes down. The big thing is, number 1, top dead center is that line. Boy, that shows up really nice. So you just put your bolt in, your dampener bolt at the end of the crankshaft, and you can turn righty-tighty. So we just kind of roughly want that pointing to there. Our piston's going to be at top, and you'll see that the crank is there. I like to have the engine standing up here because then I can just float the cam down. And once he's in, we'll get him timed and then Loctite on these bolts. There'll be a 20 to 25 pound torque on them 3 bolts. And then the cam is in place. And then we'll work on the oil pump. But I got to rebuild the oil pump first. The gears were pretty crappy looking. So we got some new gears. So let's do that. And then we'll get this thing timed, get our camshaft timed. If you do have to replace the camshaft because your gears here are way too sharp and worn, or for whatever reason, there is a washer inside this washer, so when you're pressing it on, you gotta kind of wiggle it around and make sure that you get everything back in position. But so on the cam, you can see that notch is right over there. So I'll see if I can do this one-handed. Hold on 1 second. So then we got the last bit, and he's set in, and our arrows line up. So now we know we're timed to number 1 top dead center, and that's important because when we rebuild our oil pump, there'll be a timing. You're gonna clock this top at a specific spot and then drop the pump in there because that's what drives your injection pump. So we gotta be right on this pump. So there's a chance. See, the new gear didn't come with a key slot, so we'll just Loctite and press that on. But this one might have a key, so we can't just press through because you ruin the housing. So what we've done in the past is press a little bit and then shim it, and then press and shim and press and shim. We can try the air hammer. Otherwise, on this one, it is removable here, so we can just try and press that way, except you also have a key up here. So, yay. They sure made that fun. So I'll get that apart, and then we'll press the new gear on and set our end play and go from there. So when we press this back in, the book doesn't give us a clearance between the gear and the housing to come in on the backside with a feeler gauge. They're just saying flush. Be flush with that housing. And so do a little bit high. The gear presses hard. Let's try that. It's tough to remember. Off the end, we paint that gear. And then he catches our seam. So kind kind of the orientation. So there you can see our X. If I back away, it's pointing to number 6. I believe that's where we want it. So I got one bolt holding the pump in, and then we'll set the injection pump on and double check before we go any further. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. You can see our line. So if we rotate the pump, now we're out of time and we're in time. Haha, nice. Got the oil pan on. Rear housing, these are just finger tight for right now. When we install that seal, then we'll torque these, pull these out, Loctite them and torque them down. I cut that off with the razor blade, and then where this housing, the block and the oil pan meet, I put a little tiny dab of silicone in that spot. And then we'll take a razor blade, nip them tabs off as well. So on your oil pan, this bolt, the two big bolts are tapered. So I hit them first, and that kind of squares up the oil pan, 85 pounds. And that in theory should position our pan where it needs to be. And then we can hit these at 35 pounds. And yeah. Yep. It's the start of our seal tool. It's doweled, so it only fits on one way. Snug them bolts up. You don't have to get ridiculous. Get the seal started. Look at your seal to make sure you got it on the right way. There's different designs. Make sure that your bolt is clear. And all we're gonna do is spin this nut on. We'll grab the impact gun. I'm just kidding, we'll grab a hand wrench. Outside is oiled up. And then we just turn it in. And you wanna kinda, when you first get going, give it a quick glance. Make sure that it's going square. It should go fairly easy. If you're adding a lot of pressure, you're not right. Get another seal. And then we just turn in. Tool bottoms out, you're done. That's what she'll look like. Nice. What a thing of beauty. There we go. That concludes our lubrication system. So we're timed, we're sealed, our pan is on. I just got to get a new, the next time we start on this, we'll get the filter and stuff here, paint this bottom end up a little bit, and then roll the engine over and start on all your little accessories and stuff that bolt on, and then eventually get to the head. Hoo 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 hoo.